Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this series, we are going to master text to column using Excel. So imagine your manager give you this data set to make some insights and also make some dashboard. And the data set, everything is queued in a single column. And this data contains the employee ID, the full name, the gender, the department, the job title, the city, the state, and also the salary. And if you try separating this manually, it will take you hours or even a day. So but experienced data analysts can solve this problem in less than a minute using a powerful Excel features. So in this video, I will show you how to clean this data set effectively. So I'll walk you through comma-delimited data and also tab-delimited data and also mix-delimited data. And also this is our lecture notes. So without wasting time, let's dive in. So if you are seeing my video for the first time, I create video on data analysis, and in my channel currently I have video on Excel, I have video on Python, and also I have some projects that I've worked on in my channel. So you can explore my channel and also get more insights on my content. So without wasting time, let's dive in. So one of the first tasks you perform in many organizations is not just building dashboard, it is data cleaning. So before you can analyze data, you must first make it usable. So today's video will focus on one of the most important concepts in Excel, which is data cleaning tools, which is text to column. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to what? You'll be able to identify delimiter in our data set, split imported data correctly, and also handle messy exported data professionally, and also clean hidden space in our data set using trim function. So without wasting time, let's begin. So now this is our lecture notes. What is delimiter? So before we split our data set, we need to understand the key concept. What is delimiter? So a delimiter is simply a character that is used to separate a piece of information. So some system use comma. So in our Excel here, we can make use of comma. Some system use tab, while some use semicolon, and other even use pipes or space. So these are the delimiter concepts that are going to practice using our data sets and using our Excel. So without wasting time, this is the first sheet, which is the comma-delimited data, and this is the second sheet, which is the tab-delimited data, and this is the mix-delimited data. So without wasting time, let's dive in. So this is the comma-delimited data. Without wasting time, we notice that all the data are in a single column, and we notice even the header is in a single cell, and this is a common format when opening CSV file or exported data from a business system. So let's look closely. We notice that each value is separated by comma, and this tells us the delimiter is comma. So now without wasting time, let us split this data. So now what we just do, now we select the column A. This is the column that I'm going to select. Then you go to your data, you go to your data tab. Now you select your data tab, then you select text to column. Click on this text to column icon. Now we're already in the text to column wizard. Now step 1 out of 3. So now we are selecting delimited data because why? Because our data set has comma as the delimiter, but we can't select this fixed weight because it doesn't have the feature that we're looking for. So we are selecting the delimited data. So we are selecting the delimited. So because it has characters such as comma or tab separated each field. So now we are selecting this delimited function. So now then you click on next. So now it's already on comma already. Assuming the comma is not selected, we are in step 2 out of 3. So you are selecting your comma because our data set is separated by comma. So your delimiter now will be comma. Then you can check your data preview. So let's check our data preview and see how our data will look like. So this is our data preview. That is, if we select comma, see, this is how the data will look like when we select comma. But assuming we uncheck comma and we select tab, now this is how the data will look like. I've selected the tab, and this is how the data will look like. See, you can see that the data is not even clean, it's saying the same thing. So the best practice is for us to use comma, because from the data set, all the data sets value are separated by what? By comma. So that's why we are selecting comma as our what? As our delimiter. Then you select next. So this is 3 out of 3. So assuming our data set has a date, we can also format the date here, because this is what state 3 out of 3. But our data set don't has date, so we are not doing anything here. We'll leave it on general. Then we notice from our data preview, our data sets still remain the same thing. So what next? We click on finish. Boom. Notice that our data set now is clean. Let's check it down. Yeah, we notice that our data set is clean, and what next to do is that we can just convert our data set into table. So you just Control A, then you Control T. Now we want to convert our data set into table. So where is the data set? Where is the data for your table? So my table has header. So this is the header, the employee ID, the full name, the gender, the department, the job title. They are the words, the header. Then you click on OK. Boom. So this is the best practice. So within a second, our data set is organized into a what? Into a structure, table, and what? And column. So this is why text to column is one of the most important first access key every data analyst should learn. So our data set now is clear now. So without wasting time, let's dive into the next sheet. So this is the tab delimited data. So we notice that what we did in the previous sheet is also what we are going to do in this previous sheet. We notice that all the entry here, the employee ID, the full name, the gender, the department, the job title, the city, all of them, they are all in a single column, and they are separated by tab. So the delimiter will be tab. So let us do something. We are selecting our column A. The reason why we are selecting column A is because all the data are what? In a column A. So now let's do something and see. Let me just expand this column A now. You notice the reason why we are selecting column A. Let me zoom it. Can see from the heading to the bottom, all the data are what? In column A. You can see the employee ID, the full name, the gender, the department, the job title, all of them are what? In column A. So Control Z. So now, assuming you select B now, you select column B now, and you go to your data now, the data ribbon, and you select text to column, it will throw us an error. You can see no data was selected, because what? I select column B, because all the data are what? Are in column A. So that's why we are selecting column A. So without wasting time, let's cancel it. So we are selecting column A because all the data are what? In column A. So you highlight your column A, then you go to your data ribbon, then you select text to what? To column. Boom. We notice that the wizard now has already display 1 out of 3. So our data set, we are separating it into what? With tab. So, and we are selecting what? Delimited. So without wasting time, let's click on next. So now you can notice that our comma is already selected, but our data set is separated by what? By tab. So we uncheck this, then we select tab. Boom. Notice that I'll select tab. Let's check our data preview. This is our data preview. See. Notice that our data set is clean in a professional manner. So without wasting time, you click on next. So assuming we have date column, we can modify our date here in step 3 out of 3, but we don't have date column. We just click on finish. Boom. Notice that our data set is clean in a professional manner. So without wasting time, let us just do the same thing. Let us convert our data into table. Control A. You still holding your control, then your T. Now we want to convert our data to table. Boom. So without wasting time, our data set is clean. So let's dive into the what? Into the third sheet, which is the what? Which is the mix delimiter. So if we look closely on this data set, it's separated by comma, and we notice that is the employee ID. The employee ID is separated by comma, and if you notice that here are some space in the what? In the full name, in the full name column, there are some space there, and with that we are not only cleaning the data set by using text to column, we are also going to trim this data set. So without wasting time, now let's do the same thing. Let us select our column A. So quickly, then we go to our data, then we select your text to column. Boom. So now the wizard has displayed. Now we're selecting our delimited. So without wasting time, let's select next. So now we are not selecting tag, we are selecting comma, because our data set here is separated by comma, and from the observation from the data set, the full name column, there are some space there, so we need to trim that. So let's select our comma. Boom. So now this is our data set. From the data preview, we notice that the entry are what? Are in the right format, separated by what? By straight line. So let's select next. So our data sets, we leave it on step 3 out of 3 of our wizard. So we leave it general because we don't have our dates column or any other thing we want to clean or modify. Then we select our what? Finish. Boom. So these are data sets. So we notice that the data set is separated in a nice way, but we need to trim it. Let me just do something so that we can view it very well. So these are data set now. So this is the employee ID, this is the full name, this is the gender, department, job title, the city, the state, the salary, and also, okay. So without wasting time, we notice that the column, which is our what, which is our full name, we notice that there are some gaps here. You can notice that we have gap here at the starting of Fatima, also Aisha, Fatima, Grace. We have some gap at the what, at the starting. And if we notice from the rest we notice that the rest data, the rest entry, which is our agenda, there's no space. Also the department, the job title, the city, and also the state, there's no space before the value. So let us just create a new column. Let's create a new column. So let me create a new column. So let me check the length of the what, of the value. Let me check the length of the value. Boom. So here we have 18, and if I can count this value here now, and including the middle space, we notice that it's not up to 18, but because of the gap here, it counted the gap. So like Fatima now, 1 2 3 4, this 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. We only have 12, but due to the gap, we are having what? We are having 18 entry, which is, I'm using the length function to count the value of characters in this column. So there is some space here, so we need to trim this what, we need to trim this what, this our full name column. We need to trim it. So let me just remove this and write our trim function. So we want to use our trim function to trim our what, full name column. So select this, then you close your formula, then hit enter. Boom. You can notice that there is difference between this first name, and there's difference between this name and this name. Why? Because this entry is what, is trim already, and we notice that here it's not what, it's not trim. So without wasting time, let us just, you allow your icon, you allow your arrow to be like this, then you just tap it. You tap it with your what? With your mouse twice, and it will automatically fill down. So now let's check the down. You can notice that all the entry now is already filled already, and it's what is streamed. Fatima, Aisha, Sule, Fatima Ahmed, and Aisha Sule. All the data set are streamed with the help of our function. So now what we just do, we want to replace all this value. In a what? We want to replace all the value in a what? In our full name column. So what we just do, we just hold your control, then your shift, then your down arrow button. That is, we want to highlight all the value in the what? In the column. Then you copy. You hold your control, then your shift, then your down arrow button to highlight. Then you are still holding your control, then you press your C. That is, you copy. So what I just did now, I hold my control, then shift, then arrow button to highlight all the column. Then still holding my control, I press my button C. That is, I copy the value. We notice that the thing is cycling. That is, it has copied all the entry in this place. Then you go to your full name column, you hold your control, you hold your shift, then you hold your down arrow button. Now I've highlighted the column full name. Then what you just do next, you go to your home tab. Then you select your paste. Then you go to your paste special. Then you select your value. Then you click on OK. Boom. Notice that it has what? It has reflected in this place. So this is the professional way of doing it. So what we just do next, so we just select this column, then you just go to your tab and select delete. Boom. So we notice that our data set is clear now and is in a professional manner. You can notice the data set is clean, the full name, the employee ID, the full name, the gender, the department, the job title, the city, the state, and the salary. Everything is what is clean, and we have been able to trim the data sets effectively. So now let's just check the length of the value and see. So let me just check the length now. Let's just check the length now of this entry now, which is Fatima. Let's check the length now of Fatima. So now we see that we have 12 now. Because why? It's because there's space there at the start initially. So now, but I've framed the data set and there's no more space there now. So we only have our length now to be 12. So if you enjoyed this video, please kindly like this video and also subscribe to my channel, and also do well to stay tuned for more updates in my video. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for staying. In this video, you're able to learn the comma-delimited data and also tab-delimited data, and also you're able to learn trim function, and also you're able to learn length function. So thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for staying with me. Please do well to like this video and also subscribe to my channel, and also comment in the video. So this is we got the data set in the description for you to download. So thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.